Welcome to JB Trio Podcast, Season 7, Episode 18, the finale. I'm Lee McDonald Jr.
Chris, going to win the Summer League duos this year with Bansley. Okay, that is so unnecessary. So unnecessary.
How appropriate.
So unnecessary. How long have you been prepping that, Mark? How long have you been prepping that?
The champion, Mark Merchant.
And joining us is his teammates, Ron Reynolds and Kyle Howell, the MVP. How you guys doing? Thanks for joining.
Good, thank you.
Doing well, thank you.
Awesome. So, yes, folks, spoiler alert, it has happened. Ron, Kyle, and Mark are the grand champions of the Fall JB Trio.
But thankfully, guys, this is only a practice league.
Awesome.
So this is only a practice league for the next one in the fall. So this is a good beta test. So
no,
too bad it didn't count.
They deserve every single accolade that's available. They killed it. They are clutch. They did it when they needed it. Mr. MVP was up to billing. He crushed it. He held up the team. Ron bowled crazy, lights out. Mark is a god in the league because he
is so unnecessary. Did you script this? Is this scripted?
No, this is freelance.
This has got to be freelance.
He bowled that 7-14 in their path to victory the week before. And when I tell you that they needed every single friggin' point, and I'll let them tell you themselves, but they literally needed every single point for the previous week and the current week that they won. It was an amazing finish. Kudos to you guys. Congratulations, winners, grand champions.
All this should be cut out.
Of the JV trios.
The guy who does our video just cut all this shit out.
Yeah, well, we couldn't have done it without Chris's team giving us all 12 the last game.
Oh my god!
When we both gave us all 12,
literally to the last game, the last few frames.
I gave it to Chris's team to beat y'all, but no.
Well, and I got a soft spot for the Saunders and Diego. I was kind of rooting for them, but I knew in the end that Kyle, Mr. MVP, Ron, and Mark was going to be extremely tough, and that's why I picked them to win. Beat Mark's picks last week.
I honestly thought that if Mark wasn't even there, I mean, Ron and Kyle would have won the whole thing.
Yeah. But I will say, really, kudos to the Saunders and Diego. I mean, the whole night they're passing around a little child,
Chris?
as they're bowling. And that's
Chris was on that team?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely incredible. The bowl and you're passing around a little one and then you got two other ones. And I mean, they hung in there with us right to the end. I mean, going into the 10th frame third game, we were down 35 pins, something like that. And
yeah,
I mean, it was close all the way. And
exciting.
And let me tell you, I could not do what they did this second half. I don't think any team could with all these little ones to look after, while you're trying to.
Yeah. And if y'all can tell, I'm outside right now. My dog's barking. There's a plane overhead. I'll probably have to go inside in a minute. But I just love sitting outside doing the podcast. But in any case, Kyle.
Yes, sir.
You locked up MVP even before the league went into Tuesday.
I mean, firstly, let's give Kyle his dues. Let's say PBA Kyle, the best player on their team. If it wasn't for Kyle, this would never would be here. So congratulations, Kyle, from winning the JB Trio Fall. Only you is the reason they won.
You got your Chris Probst voice on.
Well, if you really look at it, between Mark and Ron,
don't be modest.
Contributed 310 points.
That alone passed your team, Chris.
Not the first team, the second team maybe.
That alone passed your total.
Not the first team.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, so Kyle, let me find out. You took literally nearly 200 points in the whole season. I think it was 187, and you had the whole thing wrapped up. You were MVP. How did it feel to have the kind of season that you had and then the big payoff at the end to win grand champion? How did it feel?
It felt great, but like I said, it was a team effort, and they held me up when I bowled bad and just happened to bowl close to my average most games.
I mean, be honest. Like, if it wasn't for Mark, would winning would have been easier? Winning would have become easier if he wasn't.
No, it was definitely a team effort.
Yeah, but what's the challenge making it easy? You know what I mean? You got to make it. I mean,
So, Ron, you're normally the anchor of the team, and you've been on that team for what's it been, like 3 or 4 years now, maybe 5. And so, in this what makes this season different from the previous 3 or 4 seasons that you were anchor?
I would have to say, and I'll speak for him, we bowled Chris 4 times.
Oh my God.
That helps.
Oh, I think that's true. I think that is how it worked out.
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to say the same thing like what Mark said. I mean, everything, all the pieces had to fall in the right places for us to win. Chris, Saunders, Tina, and Diego should have pulled this one out. It's just amazing how we turned it up. And like I say, everything had to go together. But I don't know if there was, this team's not 4 or 5 years strong. We've only been together for a little bit. I think Mark's been on a lot of different teams, but I think this is this is the longest I think he's been on a team as far as what I can remember. So I mean, he's starting to get a foundation. So this could be a pretty strong team if we stay together. But if we part, it's all part of it. It's all about competition,
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, the only difference between me and Chris is his bowlers quit on him. Mine died.
Well, speaking of, on that topic of quitting, first of all, happy belated birthday, Mark. Sorry, Ron.
Ron, yes. Happy birthday, Ron. Yes.
Yes.
Friday, wasn't it? I think it was, wasn't it?
Thank you very much. That's nice. Yeah.
Yes.
Happy birthday. Yes, sir.
We love you. But on the second part, Jake hit me up today. So Jake hit me up and said, "Hey, tomorrow we got our money, right?" And I'm like, yeah. He's like, "What place did you come in the second half?" I'm like, "Dude, you won't believe it. We won. We won it all." He's like, "What? You and Camilla and Lee?" I'm like, Yep, we won it all, man. So when y'all see you then tomorrow.
Oh, come on.
Just go with the story.
Oh, please.
And I just want them to regret leaving me. All right? And they can't regret leaving me if we didn't win. Okay?
Well, that's going to be kind of hard. When I pass out the money envelopes, I pass them out in the order that they are placed. When you get yours towards first.
Well, they were on my team, so technically they got last. So just give them last because they left.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So yeah, so it's still right, still accurate.
Yeah,
still accurate.
And man, did Mark's team cash out? My God, for
what they only got $300 each.
Oh yeah, right.
They did.
Times that by 3.
It's like a steak dinner. That's it.
We don't even have to bowl the championship.
That's true. And I did incorporate your extra championship money into your own individual envelope, so you don't even have to wait for the money at the end.
So stupid.
So it's all in there, and
it should be forfeited. It should be forfeited.
They earned it though. No, they did. I'm telling you.
Mark didn't earn crap.
Well, I beg to differ. But I would like to let everybody know how we got there in the fastest 3 minutes in bowling. All right. So in reverse order. So we're going to start on 31-32 teams, 11 and 3. That's the 13th place against 14th. That's Ricky and the Two Mikes against Wicked Trio. And Ricky and the Two Mikes pulled out the victory, and a big victory, 43 out of 48. Kudos to Ricky, who had a really good night that night. Hensline says he didn't bowl that good, but he bowled pretty good, actually, from what I saw. Henderson also bowled pretty good, but it was definitely Ricky's night. I think he shot his patented Ricky late in the season 600 series. So kudos to them. Kudos to Wicked Trio, though. They're the first time in the league. Teams that join for the first time don't always wind up in the top positions, but when they come back, somehow they always break the top 5. So hopefully they come back as a team next year. Really enjoyed having Amanda with us. She had her chicken wing going.
Yeah, it's always good to have
Hoover-
fluffers in the league.
Larry Hoover had that amazing series early in the season, that 787, and so I definitely hope that they come back as a team. Wicked Trio, really good team, and Tim Christie also holding them up as well. So kudos to those guys. And next pair, 11th versus 12th place, that is Team 10, the lovable Put Your Thumb in Timmy, which is Chris, Camilla, and Leland, my son. They bowled up against the men in the 10 pin, and wouldn't you know it, damn it all, the men in the 10 pin would not let them win. Put Your Thumb in Timmy ended up with the L. It was 32 out of 48 for men in the 10 pin. They won the night, knocking them down a little bit further. And overall, I'd say it was a pretty forgetful season for Chris's team, but he says he's going to come back with a vengeance in the summer. So there you have it. There's Chris's team. Men in the 10 pin, Sean, Gary, and Cody. Lot of ups and downs in the season. When they definitely had their ups, they had great nights, and I definitely hope they come back as well. They had a good team. Again, they're new as a team in the league, so those new teams always struggle early, but once they make a comeback, they always do better. So hopefully they come back. All right, next pair is 9th place against 10th place, and that's team number 8, Pin High, Craig, Tina, and Gino against Almost Empty Nest, which Almost Empty Nest throughout the half did fairly well. They were in the top part of the league for a good chunk of the half. Later on, they seemed to fall. Well, they definitely fell hard, very hard this past Tuesday during position round, losing all 48 points to Pin High. Kudos to Tina, did really good. Gino did good, and as well as Craig, both great as a team. They took all 48 friggin' points. So they wanted to let everybody know, especially the people that picked them and cursed them, that they still feel like they should be in first place. So they're wanting me to give y'all a message. Screw y'all, we're going to be back. So Craig's team is coming back, it sounds like, and looks like they're going to come back with a vengeance. All right, next pair, we've got the 7th place team against the 8th place team, which is team number 2, OG, Patrick and Darren, against team number 4, Blame It on the Alcohol. Both teams also new. And Team OG, who's been solid this half, solid again this past week, 30 out of 48. Tough time for Garrett. Fred bowled pretty good. Tough time for James. They struggled a bit in the second half. Notable weeks when they bowled my team. Really tough weeks when they did. They had a tough week against Mark's team that week, I think. So it was not the ideal half for those guys, but they will bounce back as well. I also got confirmation that they're returning as well. So going to be a lot of teams that are returning, thankfully. So next year, it's going to look pretty good, pretty decent for a lot of the new teams that came this year when they make their comeback. OG, we all know the story. They only had 2 bowlers for the whole half. And despite those struggles, Darren had bought a brand new bowling ball that Mark gave him that was really good, hardly been used. Had Patrick bowled lights out for many parts of the half. So as a team, the setback of having just the 2 of them out of 3, regardless, they bowled great and they dominated for much of the half. They were even in the top 3 at one point. And so kudos to those guys. Both also are coming back. So we got a lot of returning bowlers that bowled with us new for the first time this year. So that's good. That's great news for the league. And we look forward to having those guys back. All right, now we're going to crack the top 6. My team, which was in 5th place, bowled the 6th place team, 3 fingers deep, and another classic rematch. We bowled good, 3 fingers deep. Rick bowled really good. He almost shot 700 that week, and my team struggled to keep up with them, except me. I actually bowled pretty good. I shot 685, highest in the league, by the way. Anyway, so our team ended up winning 38 out of 48. So a great week for us. Sorry to hear about 3 fingers deep losing us again. You know, I feel bad because I hate beating teams that I like. I really like bowling against Rick Connor and Caden. Caden wasn't there though. He's a new police academy attendee and he's doing really good. He's going to Arlington to take his classes. So good luck to Caden with his future career. George didn't bowl all that great. They kind of struggled, but Rick Connor bowled lights out. I bowled good. Peyton bowled good. He shot like a 650. Greg bowled pretty good, almost 600. And my team pulled out the victory, although it didn't really matter much because we still stayed in fifth, I think. All right, cracking the top four. We've got third against fourth. We got Slate's Rockheads against BD in the pocket. And this was a classic to watch. Everybody was striking like crazy. Christian had a great game. Matthew Macy had a great couple of games. Brian Brimmerman had nearly 500 for his first two games. But of course, you got Neil on the other side, who's always a great bowler, highest average in the league. You got Gilbert, who was bowling great, making his return, and Jared was bowling good. So it was a classic match. Hardly any handicap for each team. But as it turned out, BD in the pocket won the night, 32 out of 48. They had a great night. They just couldn't hang on to that last game. And that sort of leads up into the about good O'Brien. And that leads up to the first and second place teams. Spoilers. We already spoiled it for you. Mark's team, Slate Sloppy Seconds against the S team. It was a big underdog for the S team, but they gave them the run for their money. And it had to come down to the third game, the last couple frames. And Mark's team pulled out the victory, 30 out of 48, needing every single point, and they pulled out the victory, and they are in first place.
All right.
Excellent. They took first place for the league. They're at 518. The S team is in second at 513, with BD in the pocket on their tail at 509. Slate's Rockheads remains in fourth at 499. Who you calling a pinhead? Still in fifth at 490. God, we just needed another week or so. We would have taken it. Team OG is in sixth, still at 452. And Three Fingers Deep fell to seventh place at 442. With Pin High still in eighth at 435. Blame It on the Alcohol in ninth at 430. Put your thumb in it. Chris's team stayed in 10th place. They were at 389. Almost Empty Nest fell to 11th place at 380, and the Men in the 10 Pin at 373. They are in 12th. In 11th place, Ricky and the Two Mics at 364, and then last, Wicked Trio at 302. All right, gentlemen, and there's the fastest 3 minutes in bowling. Now, what I do want to talk a little bit about how the night ended up going. You guys ended up winning the league, but nobody left because it was still up for grabs. You guys could have been passed by BD in the pocket.
Yeah, I mean, they were bowling right next to us, and man, they were killing it. And I'm not going to lie, we just needed, we needed Neil to have a big game, which he ended up doing, and then Gil hung on there himself, and Jared kind of struggled a bit, but it was a close one. I think we needed them to win 4 and last game, somehow take 4. And luckily they ended up winning the game, and Neil won his point. And I think Jared already had his point. So turned out not to be as close as it really was. But going in, they needed to take 4 that last game. And it didn't look like it was going to be easy.
Yeah, it was an exciting night overall. I mean, it could have been either any team in the top 4 because of the results you guys had. You guys almost had a kiss your sister night between you and the S team. So it was actually exactly what BD in the pocket or Slate's Rockheads wanted, because they're in third or fourth and they could have passed both of you guys. But as it stands, it turns out that didn't matter. You guys still ended up winning. But Kyle, why don't you give us a breakdown of the first game? How did it go? How did everybody bowl the first game for you guys? And give us a breakdown of the first game.
The first game, we pretty much I think we took 10 on that first game. Let's see who.
Yeah, we took 10, and then we gave it right back to them the second game.
Yeah, because going into the third game, it was all tied up.
So how did everybody bowl? Were there like concerns that you guys had, or were you guys bowling good and the other team not bowling so good? What was the breakdown like?
Well, I can tell you personally myself, the concern was after the second game, and I think total, literally, we were only up 6 pins on total, and we were both 12 and 12 after the first 2 games. So really, last game.
Who was bowling good the first game?
I don't know. I don't.
I mean, it
think
wasn't Mark.
me-
It wasn't Mark for sure.
No, actually, no. I think me and Kyle bowled pretty well.
No, it was just Kyle.
Ron
well-
kind of struggled a bit, maybe.
There we go.
What?
I just pulled it up. Ron, the first game had a 188. Mark had a 195. And I think I had a 224 that first game.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So it was Kyle that did it, Mr. MVP.
See, it wasn't Mark. See,
No. Then this next game was a complete failure.
Well, if I remember right, the first game wasn't. What did Chris do? Didn't he bowl pretty good?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so like a 232.
Oh wow, jeez. So he was trying his best to hold up his team, and I guess Diego and Tina didn't bowl so hot that first game.
Yeah, I think Tina struggled a little bit, and then she came out of it like the 9th frame, maybe that first game, but then the second game she was pretty solid.
All right. So Ron, how did it go the second game? How were you feeling? How are you bowling?
I think that's when I bowled my 232. So I think if I remember right, I could be wrong. I don't know if I was the one that won the 2 points or if it was Kyle and
No,
Mark.
you
definitely wasn't Mark. Definitely was not Mark.
No, I didn't need to win it.
But it's a coincidence. Yeah, I bowled the same thing Chris did, but I think Chris bowled a 201, if I remember right. He did better than I did in the first game. We were kind of almost even, but he was slightly ahead. And I know in the totals, I think I can't remember my last game, but he beat me in totals by 2, I believe. I think that's what Kyle told me at the end.
Oh, jeez. So as far as like opens and things of that sort, how you guys going into that 10th frame in the second game and thinking, all right, we won the first game by 10. We just got to win the second and wrap it up. But then what happened? I think some of you guys may have opened.
A lot.
Yeah,
I don't even think the second. To me, I felt like the second game wasn't even close. I mean, we were just. Tina was bowling really well. Me and Kyle were struggling. Ron kept us.
No, you were
afloat.
struggling. Kyle was still doing Kyle.
No. Mark scratch, but it wasn't by much.
Not by much.
Not by much. Okay, that's an argument.
But that second game must have had you guys a little bit worried because it's like you can't have a kiss your sister night because you definitely need to win. What was it? 20? You had to win 28 or more.
Yeah.
So after that second game, I mean, what was the feeling like going into the third game? Were you guys nervous?
Well, I will tell you, we knew we weren't going to choke it like Chris did in prior years. We knew that wasn't going to happen, and we weren't high-fiving each other in the 8th frame. Even though, we were there. We were there.
I thought that's when I thought it was over. That's what I was telling you about the pieces.
Really?
Place. I honestly did. I knew it's just that was a tough team all year. I mean,
Definitely.
So you thought it was over?
Even your own teammates said Mark sucks.
No.
Wow.
Yeah, no,
It's just it's just I thought we would have done if we got 8 points. It's pretty much in the bag. On that second game. But when we split, and it was like starting right back over.
Yeah.
Literally, I didn't think we had a chance. But
Wow.
To the Mark, right? The history of Mark, right?
Yeah, my teammates stepped it up though, and we did what we.
Well, what if he didn't step it up? Would you have blamed Mark for the whole failure?
No, I
Chris,
wouldn't.
Blame Mark.
let me tell. All right, let me tell him what we did to step it up. We were down by 35 pins going into the last frame. Okay. Kyle get up there. He shot a 7-7. I get up there. I shoot a 7-7. Ron gets up there. He strikes out. Or 9-9.
That was the third game, right?
That was the 10 frame, the third game going in, and we were 35 pins down. And that's what, and that was it. There was no Greek church, no missed 9 pin, nothing like that.
And I think
no legendary stories for the Hall of Shame.
No,
And I think
we had to deliver.
Hey, that's like we deliver. That's like Kyle's old team.
Oh yeah, I remember that team.
But going into the third game, that must have been probably the most turmoil you guys have had in most of the season. I mean, the season's on the line, and you guys are clinging to a lead for the first game, and then the second game happens, and you guys lose. So Ron let me know what he was thinking. He was scared. Well, I mean, not scared, but he was like nervous going into the third game. But Kyle, how are you feeling?
After Tina bowled that 146 the second game, I'm thinking I got a lot to catch up on.
Yeah. Yep.
With
I
her,
can imagine that you probably had a big lead after the first, but she took a lot of it back in that second game.
I didn't have much of a lead after the first. She bowled
Oh wow,
first game.
dang!
Did have enough, but I think I was up maybe by I don't know 10, 11 pins.
Wow! Oh my God, I didn't know that. So, Mark, how were you taking that second game loss going into the third?
I was more worried the third game. Even like Ron said, 8th frame, I still thought, in the 8th frame, I thought we were in trouble to win this.
Oh, wow.
Because Diego had a 4-bagger.
Oh, he did. I forgot about that. How many were Brooklyn's?
All of
All of them.
Yeah. He had a 4-bagger, and Tina was bowling well. And we were down, I think, in the 8th frame, we're down like 60. I mean, things weren't looking good for us. They weren't.
What kind of pep talk do you guys give each other to turn it around?
They give him hand jobs.
I said,
Oh, God.
I think I might have said, let's not pull a Woodmansey on this one.
Man, oh, man. I mean, I didn't realize it was that big of a, like, you guys had to climb a huge mountain there.
Look at that team is good, man. They're good, and they gave us trouble last time we bowled them. I mean, they're a tough team. They really are, and I give them a lot of credit. I mean, if we weren't going to win it, I certainly would have liked them to win it. And I'm glad that they didn't.
Why don't you just hand it over now? Hand it over right now. Say
I'm
on the
glad
podcast, hey, I'm handing over the title right now.
I'm glad they at least hung on for second place because they deserve it. They deserve to be it. Yeah.
That's true. That's very true.
Just hand it over.
And so you guys pulled out a huge victory, like you said, coming back from 60 pins down in the 8th, and Kyle doubles in the 10th, you double in the 10th, Ron goes off the sheet. What's the feeling like after it's like a roller coaster ride? You guys are down in the dumps, the whole season's for nothing, and then you guys all of a sudden just make that huge comeback. What's the feeling like?
Feels like a couple of fireball shots.
All we had, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Is that what you did? Ron, did you have some fireballs?
Oh, yes. Yeah, we all have fireballs, yeah.
Nice.
That's
awesome.
awesome. Oldness in the gear. That makes sense.
So let me ask, I think Tracy's with us. Aren't you? Are you with us, Tracy?
Yes, I am.
All right. So this is where I want to get to. So
Yeah, we got questions for you, Tracy.
you got these 3 guys that are choking away the whole league.
Choking hard on each other's.
They're choking hard, as Chris puts it eloquently. They're down to the. What do you do to help prep them up? Say, come
First
on,
of all,
guys.
do we want to know what you
got
do?
this.
Do we want to know what you did?
I've them every time, whether they struck or not, and shared my good luck, I guess.
What kind of good luck?
Yeah,
here?
I'd say so. So that's awesome. So they're never going to admit that they were shitting their pants. So
No.
what is the tension like at the table? Were they talking a lot, or were they kind of tightening up after that second game loss?
They were talking. I think it seemed like it was a little bit out of nerves, just hoping that things were going to go our way, and it worked out.
Yeah,
Really?
it did.
Really?
It definitely did, because 60 pins down in the 8th, I didn't know it was that drastic. So, but that's got to be a good feeling for just as a team and being a part of that. So,
Hey, Lee,
yeah.
we both we had a good frame gentleman in the 8th and 9th into the 10th.
Oh, damn. Wow. So, I mean, that's what it took, though, because, I mean, if one of you guys doesn't do that, that's at least 25 to 30 pins. And who knows, when it gets that tight, then you start to play mind games like, okay, I need to strike out, otherwise we lose. So, that's hard on the anchor bowler. It's hard on the second bowler. So, like you said earlier, we got to win as a team.
Mm-hmm.
So any one of y'all mess up, and there goes the whole season. So kudos to you guys. All right, now that the night's over, or not the night, but now that the games are over, and you guys are screen watching over on the next pair, and you got BD in the pocket on your heels, you guys telling them anything? You trying to get in their head or anything like that?
Neil and Gil and Jared, they say, "Oh, we ought to tank it so you don't win."
What if they did? That would have been horrible.
So we slipped and took his naming rights.
Yeah,
Why is David Price? Okay.
I did hear him say that. I said we can take it, let BD take this whole thing, but they had a bad time though in that third game. BD, they were shooting lights out in the first and second game. It looked like it was going to be their victory the whole night. They just needed to keep it up, but then they lost their carry and they just couldn't keep it up. It was crazy.
It all happened when Christian fouled.
Oh, that's right. He had a flashback of being on Woodmansey's team.
Okay.
I forgot about that foul. That was a pretty big foul. That was a big deal because it was on a
double.
Was it on a strike or was it a spare?
I think it was on a double.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Holy shit!
I think it was on a
Damn,
double.
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
See, and it just proves that without me, with me, or without me, they still come in last. All right, because they can't win. They had a chance to win first. Yeah, they had a chance to win first, and they didn't. Just like when I was on their team.
You know what, though?
It's almost like Titanic.
I at least took them to second place.
Matthew Macy missing that week. The week before the position round was a killer for that team.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. And you guys bowled Ricky's team, didn't you, that week?
No, we had the men in the 10 pin.
Oh, that's right. It was Sean Taylor and Cody.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if anything were to be given out, I mean, it's that team that you guys should probably thank the most because without those 44 points, all this is for naught.
Yeah, but that team did not bowl that bad to lose 44 to us. I mean, we just bowled tremendous, as a team.
True.
We did. I mean, that's why the men in the 10 pin did not bowl that bad against us. It's just that we just were killing.
They bowled over their average. Mark and Ron just killed it.
Yeah. So for 2 weeks, so you guys took 44 the week before out of 48, and then you took 30 out of 48. So that's 74 out of 96 points. And you guys needed every single point. It was insane. What a finish.
Yeah. Like I will tell you, the turning point was definitely winning that last game against Chris when we smoked him for all of them.
He beat
That was
y'all.
That was the turning point.
You know what? Finally, this is going to be our low viewer episode.
The finale, really?
Yeah, it's going to be our at least. We're probably going to have like 2 listeners.
Hey,
Man, don't say that.
Hey, Chris, I don't know if you realize this, but it's a podcast. It's not viewers. It's
Listeners.
Listeners.
Yeah.
We ought to go do a face reveal and get on a video somewhere.
Well, Chris is videoing this week, isn't he? He's going to come down with his video. Remember he did last year?
Oh, yeah. He's got a video of the chair again.
Yeah, he got that interview on the chair.
is that it?
Yeah, Chris, you got to bring the video back.
Yeah.
Where's the second video? You did one last summer. Now we need one for the finale.
Yeah.
Come on. You got to bring the video tomorrow.
Maybe.
Yeah, do it. See if you can interview a table.
And we got to interview the champions, the grand champions, the number 1 team in the league.
Yeah.
I'm all in favor of it anyway. All right. So that's what happened in the league. So we've got the champions with us. Real quick, one discussion I'd like to have. We talked a little bit about it before the podcast started, is the idea of having a Hall of Fame implemented. This was an idea that I had talked to Chris about Saturday morning when we were cashing the check about having a Hall of Fame started, because we've got bowlers in our league that's been bowling for decades and guys that bowl honor scores. And, we're not a huge, big time league like the Monday Night Men's and some of the other leagues around the Metroplex. But I think we warrant enough attention to have a Hall of Fame. And I think having a Hall of Fame would be a good thing.
Yeah, I think it would be good.
And yeah, Mark even mentioned a few ideas.
I mean, it's only good if I'm inducted first.
Of course you would say that.
Yeah, the Hall of Shame. But that one is the Hall of Shame.
And that's when we come up with the idea of the Hall of Shame, is that we got to have one for everybody else, and then we got to have one for Chris.
No. Nope.
But Mark come up with some great ideas about how MLB does their Hall of Fame, where they have nominees and they have them ranked first, second, and third, and things of that sort. And whoever has the most first place votes will be able to be inducted. So none of this has been put in place yet. We literally just come up with this idea 2 days ago. But be on the lookout. So there might be something for the bowlers. I'm going to try to publish this podcast tomorrow before the league starts, and there might be a vote, bowlers. So again, it's a Hall of Fame. It's going to be a special thing. We're going to put people on the list that have maybe bowled honor scores or have been bowling in the league a very long time or that have the most fouls in the league. So we'll rank them on how you feel should be in the Hall of Fame. If it happens, we might not even do it. Who knows? Anywho,
let's talk a little bit, Lee, about tomorrow night, what it's going to be like.
yes, it's going to be a lot of fun. I talked to Joey Robb right before the podcast started. We're kind of getting things ready for tomorrow. He's bringing the Saturday night sweeper to Tuesday. We're going to convert to color pins. We're having strike pots. Brackets, of course, are still available. And we're going to try to do, now he might have an issue with it. We might not have the capability of doing it. Crossover doubles. Now, of course, you can run it a couple ways. In this case, we would have to do it by hand, which is the hardest way to do it because neither of us have the software to put in the crossovers. So if we do it, we might not do it, but we're going to try to do mixed crossovers for all the bowlers. So it doesn't have to be men, women. It can be all bowlers. So we're going to do that. So basically, just like whatever he runs Saturday, we're bringing us to Tuesday. So we're going to have a lot of fun tomorrow.
That's good.
I think so. We needed to have something like this. And I thought about in the past where I've had a hard time running it myself and bowling. And so I didn't want bowlers to stay till midnight like we had a couple years ago, or even almost to 1 a.m. So I thought, well, who better to do it than Joey Robb, the man himself who runs the Saturday night sweeper for AMF Louisville, to go ahead and bring his equipment in and bring his people in and have that brought to JB Trios.
Now,
So it should be a lot of fun.
Is the other league bowling tomorrow, or we?
Yeah,
They are bowling. So I encourage all of JB Trios to show up a little bit early, even though they're going to be having their sweeper. I'd like for us to show up early, like around 8:30-ish. So that way we can get money paid out. Y'all can stand in line to get in and sign up for Joey's brackets and strike pots and everything. We'll get everything situated before we bowl. That way we're not doing it during. We'll get everything ready to go beforehand, and then as the early league gets their stuff and crap out of the way, and then we'll start bowling right when they finish.
Yeah, that sounds good. Hey, Chris, have you found anybody that's desperate enough to bowl with you in JV duos this summer?
Yes. What big news did you have?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. All right, great. As soon as I say this news, we just cut over to Beat Marsh picks, okay?
All right, you got it.
No commenting, just accept it and move on.
What? Wait a minute.
Yeah,
we got a comment.
Accept it and move on and Beat Marsh picks. Gotcha? Cool.
No deal.
Fine. That's good.
Great.
Oh, yeah, sure, whatever.
I am bowling the JB duos in the summer league this season. This
Yay.
coming up summer. My partner he needs no name, but it is
Ricky Boudreau.
okay.
Yes, I agree.
Not even close. But you got the R right.
Rick Connor?
No. Ron fucking Reynolds.
Oh.
He is my duo partner for the summer. Me and him flashing clans. End of subject. End of talking. No comment needed. Go, Mark.
You're full of shit, bro.
Does Ron know this?
Yes.
He's full of shit.
We talked Friday, and he agreed. He said, "You know what? For my birthday, I wanted to play with you for the summer." I'm like, "I know what? Hell yeah!"
Oh, he did.
Wait a minute, for his birthday?
Yeah.
That's why he wants to end this because he's full of shit.
No.
When he
No,
when
it's,
he
go ahead,
said-
Mark. Go ahead, Mark. It's on you.
When he said play with you, he didn't mean play bowling with.
Oh, my God.
He said he wants to play with me on the same team,
Yeah.
and I want to
Hey,
honor
hey.
his birthday wish.
Are Coke
And then
bottles
he-
involved?
I
I think
wanna
he's
honor
thinking
him.
he must be thinking about that Ron Reynolds from Tennessee.
No,
There is a Ron Reynolds from Tennessee.
Oh, wow.
I did not know that, but I'm talking about the Ron Reynolds that's on here, this podcast right now. That's the Ron Reynolds I'm talking about.
Yeah, we never talked Friday, man. You're lying through
We
your
did
teeth,
talk
man.
Friday. I'm not lying to my teeth. Why are you denying that? Are you embarrassed?
No.
It's okay, Ron. It's okay. All right? I got matching T-shirts, and it's all good.
Oh, how adorable!
All right. Well, that's our biggest secret. Ron didn't want to tell y'all. He wanted to be a secret.
That's such a secret, even he didn't know.
Yeah, he's gonna deny it until next in the summer league. Then
He knows now.
Yep.
Sorry to disappoint there, but nope. That's not.
He didn't want me to tell y'all, but he really don't want y'all to know. So he wants to.
So you instructed him to react like this?
Yes.
Oh my God!
Somebody said Chris's team was going to be OG number 2. He's going to bowl by himself.
No, what? To be honest, Darren or Patrick
bowl with a blind.
would be a bad partner. Darren or Patrick would not be a bad partner to have.
No, they wouldn't.
So, no, so me and Ron for JB Summer. Vote.
How about that? Okay, you guys win. You guys won in the league.
Vote us. Thank you.
Well, we shall see. We got a week. We got 8 days before the start of the summer. So I hope to see a lot of the bowlers come back for the summer. I know a lot take the summer off, but if they don't show up, I hope they come back for the fall. We've already got a lot of confirmed coming back for the fall. Looks like we might have 16 teams again. Hopefully we'll bring back some of the bowlers that haven't been bowling with us, like Dwayne and Richard. Like to see those guys come back. Maybe Kevin Cobb. I'd like to see a lot of old familiar faces come back now that COVID's finally done. Let's see if we can get some of our former bowlers back with us.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I think so. All right. It is time to reveal once and for all who the best picker is.
Hey, I got the second half. I got the second half.
Here we go with the final results of the second half. That counted. The first half didn't count. That was
okay.
The second half was the count.
Okay.
And
here we go.
It was a 3-way tie for first place last week on picks.
You're lying. You're lying.
Yeah.
He's lying.
No,
he is
3-way.
So lying.
It was 3-way tie for first place at 4 wins, 3 losses. And one person went 3 wins, 4 losses.
Oh, my God.
Yep, 3-way tie was Matthew Macy, myself, and, drum roll please, Lee at 4 and 3. Chris, you went 3 and 4. That left That left you and Lee dead tie, 73 wins, 65 losses, and you guys had a tiebreaker to break it, and the tiebreaker goes to Lee.
Oh my God, it happened. It friggin' happened. I can't believe it.
It would have been me. My team lost by 1 fucking point.
Wow.
1 point.
How? Thank you.
Okay, so what's the tiebreaker?
Credit.
So now, do we go to the final? That's championship round. I won the second half. I won the first half. You won the second half. Now we meet in the middle to go for what?
No, that's it. It's
no, it's just like JB Trios. Like we have 2 halves, 2 winners, and if it's 2 different teams, they go against each other in super round. So
that's not how it is because we end the season. That was season 6. You were the winner of season 6, but season 7 is a different season. So
I just say whoever gets it, whoever between you two had the higher average wins.
I'll take that too. I will take that too.
What's your average?
Wow, 204. 204.
I'm at 202. No.
Oh,
yeah, like it.
I can't believe it happened. Wow.
Yeah, we were going to have to.
Kudos.
Yeah, thank God you won it, Lee. We were going to have to kill that episode if you did.
God. It would have been beat Chris's pick.
He won in tiebreaker.
So I think with my victory, that means that all 3 of us have won a pick segment.
Yes.
At least once.
Yes.
So you know what that means? That means the next season of beat whoever's picks, I want to say, because they'll be the first multi-winner, that should be the most special winner in my opinion.
Naming rights?
Maybe. I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. So Mark won the very first season of Beat Mark's Picks, and then Chris won the second season, which was the previous one, and then I just won the third one.
Barely won.
Yeah.
So
Imagine,
I think
Chris, you go down again, you lose by 1 pin. If you guys had taken, if you had taken that game, you would have beat him you'd have gotten the win and beat him.
one
got-
pin.
You would have
It
been
comes down to
4-3.
pin.
And I struck out in the 10th frame, so it definitely
Yeah,
wasn't me.
imagine that.
It definitely wasn't
Wow.
And if there ever is somebody that's an all-time loser, you got to be it.
me. Yeah.
No way. One pin.
Yes,
pin.
one pin.
Yeah.
One pin. That
1 pin
is-
made us lose the third game and totals by 1 pin. We were tied going after the second game. We were tied by pinfall. We were tied. And we lost the third game by 1 pin, which totals means we lost by 1 pin.
So what'd you say? That's another 9 pin?
No, it wasn't me. It probably was it was Leland or Camilla, one of them two.
Oh, you have to blame Leland and Camilla.
It was because I bowled a 675 series.
Oh, well.
You know,
Well, in any case.
1 pin, Rodney. 1 pin.
Oh, no. Oh, wow.
Salty.
The whole friggin' P. Oh, my God. 1 friggin' pin. That's amazing. So, in other words, if you guys win by 1 pin, you win the night, and thus your team wins. Thus, you and I tie.
Yes.
And since you had a 1 point advantage, you would have won the whole half.
Yes.
You would have.
You would have been the first one to win multiple beat Mark's picks, or in this case, beat Chris's picks. You would have won the entire season. You would have won season 6 and season 7.
Yep.
Wow. But 1 pin prevented all that.
Yep.
Wow.
And it wasn't my fault. I mean, it wasn't my fault.
Well, that's just
All I know is you bring the best out of people.
you brought the best out of me, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to do it. Wow, I can't believe it. Well, I'm going to remain humble, and I'll just say it was a hard-fought victory, and kudos to Mark and Chris for trying their best.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, all right. So, what a great ending. What a great finale. Real quick, let's just go over some boulders of the week, go over some end-of-the-year stats. So, as far as last week, Cody Eskurka made the last boulder of the week of the year. 110 pins over his average. Kudos to Rick Connor and Brian Brimmerman. Also, that Lee McDonald Jr. guy shot the highest series, 685. Camilla made bowler of the week for the ladies. Kudos to Camilla. She shot 532. Good job. At least somebody bowled. And anyway, so we got high average award goes to Neil freaking Brady with a 212. Camilla with the ladies at 169. Most improved for Cody. He ends the year with 18 over his average. Tina Saunders finishes the year 22 over her average. So kudos to her. And Mr. MVP himself, Mr. Kyle Howell, 180. I may have misspoke. It's 183 points for the end of the season. So kudos to you. There was that one bowler that was right on your tail. That was myself at 175. I came on late. But kudos to Kyle, MVP of the league. Tina Saunders, MVP for the ladies at 161, wasn't even close. So she was dominant for the whole season. Now, what I like to call bowlers of the year for who bowled the most pins over their average, that was in a single night, Mr. Larry Hoover bowled 202 pins over his average at that time, which was early in the season. He shot that 787. Which was that against Mark's team? Was that against your team, Mark? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
I don't either. It was so long ago. Asking us old guys. But yeah, so he bowled that. I do know one other bowler that from not too long ago bowled 200 pins over his average as well. That was that Mr.
Good.
Richard Flores. He did bowl that against you guys.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that.
Yeah, he did.
So kudos to Larry bowling 200 pins over. For the ladies, for the most entire pins over a single night for the year was Tina Saunders. She had 159 pins over her average for the entire year. That was when she bowled that 549 series. So kudos to Tina, who bowled great this season. She said it was by far her best season ever in any league. All right. And so for the year, who you calling a pinhead had highest game scratch? That's my team. We had a 758 game. And then right behind that was Wicked Trio 757. But of course, they took the high game handicap when they bowled that 901, that incredible 901 single game series. Who you calling a pinhead took high series scratch at 2120. Hey, how about that? We did that too. But Wicked Trio, remember all the times we talked about bowlers that bowled 2300? Well, they took the high series honors, high series handicap when they bowled 2353 for that night. So kudos to those guys having a great night. Honor scores, we had Matthew Macy with a 300 game scratch. George Martinez had a 299. Highest series we had was Neil Brady at 703, right behind him at 787. Matthew Macy, when he shot that 300s, had 758. For the high handicap was Matthew Macy, single game 319 when he bowled a 300. And then Larry Hoover for high series for handicap 853. For the ladies, the highest game of the year, believe it or not, goes to Amanda Cunningham. She had a 246 game, which took highest game honors for the ladies. She also took it for the handicap at 317 for the same game. Highest series for the women scratch, and the only 600 of the year. She may have had a second one, I can't remember. But Camilla Woodmansey, learning
my
a thing or two
wife.
from Chris.
My
Chris's
wife.
wife had 606, highest series scratch for the ladies. But handicap, there was no debate. Highest handicap series, and one of the best bowlers and most improved bowlers, Tina Saunders, the queen of the league, 792 for highest series over. So kudos to her. All right, and that wraps up the league. Real quick, what's some of the memories? Tracy, Kyle, Ron, Mark, what is Chris? What's some of the memories that y'all can remember for season 7 for the podcast? Anybody can? What's the first couple things that jump out?
Mm,
I know
Taking that
mine.
lap against Chris.
Yeah.
14. That helped us. 12. That helped.
oh my god. You only took, that's not a win. We still won.
I think probably if I had to rank all the memorable times we had, I'd say probably one of the most memorable has to be hands down the Coke bottle story.
Oh my god.
That has to be, I'd say that if there was a Hall of Fame of stories that we had on this podcast for all 7 seasons, that has to rank up there with some of the best.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's
If
up
you
there.
haven't heard it, go back and I forget what episode.
I mean, I
it was,
thought
but
you,
go back.
but I thought you were talking about bowling moments, like bowling moments.
Oh, we can do bowling as well. Just moments for the league that we had. We had a great season.
Yeah,
So
we
all
did.
right, Chris, tell me a bowling moment.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's so many. Like, there's, Joe Bear on a hot streak for a long time, and then I tried to forget about it after a while. It's just so hard to remember.
When you're a great team, you had Jake and Phil, and I remember you guys bowling my team that night, and it was all hollering and yeah, here we goes. Remember how you guys flying high?
Yeah, I remember that. I mean, I would say the 710. I've never seen a 710 get picked up before.
Oh, that's right. Jared picked up the 710 this season.
Yeah,
That's
I never seen one of those. I mean, I seen them on TV, on YouTube, but never in real life. So that was a good moment.
That was.
You sure it was here we go, and it wasn't like Jake and Phil saying, I'm out of here?
That was. They said, here we go.
It led to that.
And they did. They said, here we go. And they went.
Or how about the one ball moment, the one ball era?
Oh, yeah. The one ball book. Who
The
could
one ball
forget?
era.
The one ball. Chris's one ball.
Rick's one-step approach and
Yes.
overcoming injury and all that. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah. Rick Connor making a comeback. That was.
Yeah,
He's been
congratulations.
bowling good. He got a 700 this season, and so he did good.
Congratulations to all the Coke bottle winners. So.
Oh yeah, the scratch bracket.
Mm-hmm.
The Coke bottle that was so good, we had to name the bracket after it.
Yeah, we had 3 seasons, so it was awesome. Joe Bear won it twice, and then Neil Brady won the 3rd one.
And kudos to all the big bracket winners. I remember Greg won one, Kyle won one. So we had Greg and Kyle And then who was the last winner? I forgot who was the last winner.
Did Neil do? I think Neil did it.
It was Neil. It was Neil and Darren in the finals. Yeah.
Yeah.
So kudos to those guys. Oh man, so many stories. My God. Let's see.
But I do want to go over something. Let's all tell each other's right now who is our doubles partner next week, next Tuesday.
I think Kyle, are you taking the summer off?
I'm taking the summer off.
Okay.
I've been bowling with 2 straight years, and
Yeah, you have been.
hard.
Mark and Ron, are you guys bowling with each other?
Yeah, that's what will be. It'll be me and Mark.
Nice.
I'm sorry, Ron. I'm sorry. Kyle would have been a better choice, but Kyle's not.
Or Chris.
Or me, yeah.
I know Ricky's still available, Chris.
Me and Chris Saunders are bowling.
Chris Southwest.
Yep.
Chris Saunders, of course, and then Chris Woodman.
Tina.
Make up Chris SW or Chris Southwest.
Yep. You hear me? Camille and Tina will be partners as well.
Oh, cool. Gotta love the ladies.
Can you handle a baby? Are you going to be able to handle a baby?
I don't know.
I'm not holding no baby.
You're going to have to hold the baby.
I'm not holding no baby.
You got to.
No.
Oh, what, Chris? What is that? You and Camilla having a baby?
I mean, I'm thinking he's talking about Chris's baby. But I love Sophia. I love
he is,
Sophia,
but are you telling us something? No, you and Camilla trying to have another one?
I mean, we're trying, but her tubes are really tied. They tied them pretty good.
I thought it was the low sperm count.
Yeah, I thought when they tied them, they didn't I thought they tied them like a little knot, like a little Boy Scout knot.
Oh, so you're saying it's like
no, they
you're too much of a man that she had to get done because you're too much.
Yeah, my sperm count's too strong. Yes.
First of all, he's got to get off the couch.
Yeah. No, she actually just sits on my lap. That's how we get done.
Oh, come on.
She just sits on it and she does all the work, and I'm like, oh, I'm done.
Oh my God. Okay, there's another story for us.
Hey, Lee.
Yes.
I just wanted to wish you and Jennifer a happy anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh, when's your anniversary?
It's actually today.
No, it's not.
It is today, 24 years.
You didn't want to tell us?
Oh, no, I was going to save that for last. Kyle stole my thunder.
Congratulations.
No, I'm just kidding.
Wait, it's really your anniversary?
It's really my anniversary. May
Okay,
20th.
what did you do for her?
Well, we celebrated this past weekend. So we went out, we had a lot of fun. And one thing we did that was kind of cool is I did take her out to dinner, amongst other things, but we went to
live or is it dead?
It's I don't know. It's crawled. I don't know if y'all saw on Facebook, but we have a snake living in our grill, and she wouldn't touch it. She waited for me to get home. I got home and it was gone. I can't find it. Now we think something died because it stinks back here now, and we think it's crawled somewhere. I tell her it's crawled underneath her chair. And then it's sitting there under her chair. We got to prop it up, and she's screaming and scratching me like, "You don't dare touch that chair!" So yeah, but yeah, it's been pretty eventful, pretty exciting weekend. But yeah, I've been married 24 years, so I'm not that old either. I'm only 45, but I've been married more than half my life.
Yeah.
So, but thank you, Kyle. I appreciate that, bro.
Congratulations, man.
Sure, no problem.
Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary to y'all too.
Who's closest to me? Is it Kyle and Tracy? How many years y'all been married?
This year will be 29.
29 friggin' years. You guys passed it.
Yep.
Shit.
Y'all about to hit 30-30.
Next year.
How about that? We'll have to celebrate together.
And y'all still love each other?
Absolutely.
Of course.
Okay.
With all their hearts.
Mm-hmm.
Mark, how many years you been married?
Well, I only got my mail order bride last year, so it's only been... it's 16.
I think Mark's thinking he's married to his nurse that takes care of him. His 24-hour nurse care.
Hey, don't knock it. Hey, I guarantee you, all us old farts, when we get in our 70s, even you, Chris, you better be nice to your wife because she's gonna have to wipe your ass soon.
I'll be dead before that happens. I'll commit suicide. I'm done. That will never happen to me.
I'm telling you, though.
The moment that has to happen, I'm just, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with life.
Be nice to your wife.
Because She's gonna plug it up with that Coke bottle you got hanging on the mantle.
Oh no!
The one on the mantle.
It's gonna be the brown.
I'll
It's
explode.
gonna be the caramel Coke bottle.
Oh my gosh.
Chris,
Oh yeah.
I said, Chris, have you not heard the saying about never?
Never say
Never?
never. Never say never.
You never say never.
Yeah.
Never say never. You know,
Yeah.
wiping that ass. Never say never.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I'm not talking about stuff y'all do now. No.
No, that would never happen. Wiping ass.
Let's leave that. Let's leave that. Yeah.
But when it does, I'll let y'all know.
All right. So I guess we're done. My God, it's been a hell of a season. Seven seasons now for JB Trio Podcast. We're gonna take next week off, of course, because there's no league to talk about. So we're gonna take next week off, and then by the time we finish our first week, which will be 2 weeks, we'll be able to start season 8, episode 1. So hopefully y'all join us for that. Hopefully we got some new things on the horizon. Our summer league goes to 2 on a team, and we're going to have the playoff. I love bringing the playoff back in the summer. So we bowl like 10 weeks, and then whatever top 4-5 teams make it to that playoff, we have a nice playoff there in the end. We'll have to talk a little bit about that when we come back. Also got to talk to you guys about rule changes and things. I know we had a little mix up for the rules that we had this past season where we left out the bowling lineup and all that. So you, Chris, and you, Mark, and you, Kyle, since all of us are all on the board of directors.
It's Chris Saunders, not me. I'm out.
Oh, that's right. He's the VP.
Yeah, Mark's out.
You got to get Mark back as
You got impeached.
No,
You got impeached.
Chris Saunders is going for president this year.
I will always be president.
Oh, Chris Saunders.
He's present. He's got a present for us.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us, Kyle. Thank you for joining us, Ron. Appreciate the both of you for being on our finale tonight.
Yes. Thank you. All right, guys. Thank y'all so much for listening to this long podcast video. I know it. Just fast forward to the very end as we close this episode down. And I know you don't want to listen to Mark being why they won and blah, 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 blah. Who cares about them?
I love that part. We talked about how they won.
No, that's the worst part of the whole freaking episode.
It's their episode.
But yes, congratulations to Kyle and Ron. Y'all did a great job just carrying Mark.
Mark.
Without y'all two, Mark would never be here. Okay. So kudos to y'all too. I hope to see y'all next season. And then the fall, hopefully with a new player, you, Kyle, and someone else. But other than that, we'll see y'all tomorrow. I thank y'all listeners for the great appreciation and the dedication and support y'all have been giving us this whole season and past other 6 seasons that we've been doing this. Continue to follow us and listen to us as we will provide more feedback and more content for y'all in the upcoming season 8. Until then, see y'all in 2 weeks. If you do not come back, you'll be like my old team, the Titanic, Brian Christian, losing yet again another.
Oh, my God. That's crazy. What an ending. All right, guys. Thank y'all for joining. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Ron. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
We shall see all of y'all tomorrow night.
All right.
Yes.
Good night.
See y'all.
Good night, guys.
Have a good night, guys.
You too.
Bye, Tracy.
Bye.